Okay, it probably doesn't take you long to come up with a few. What are some things, reasons why you would not take those most important jobs, rules, and time of middle school students? Give me one. What? Unreliable. I heard an experience already up here. Attitude? Like good attitude? I don't like anything you do attitude. Somebody else in your group? They're finding themselves. All right, what else?
They smell bad.
I have not heard of that one yet.
They stink. You don't want to be around it.
Okay, let's keep going. Here we go. One. Undereducated. Everything's a drama. We're talking about girls.
We're still talking about 13-year-olds.
13-year-olds.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Okay, let me categorize a couple things for you about middle school students. Again, if you want to follow the outline, you can, or else just turn it over and take some notes here on. First of all, middle school students are unclassified. That's why we call them middle. We're not sure what to do with them. And there's this phase of life in which they are not this anymore, but they're still not this other thing. They're not really children anymore, but they're not truly adults yet. And middle school students are amazing. And in 1 minute you'll be watching, you know, especially if you have kids, you're watching a son or daughter with pride, you watch them just quietly serving, or you're listening to something coming out of their mouths, and you're just, this is just dripping with wisdom from the mouths of babes. And the next minute, they will do something so incredibly stupid or frustrating or harmful to another human being, you can't believe it. And that's why they're middle school students. They're just kind of stuck there. And sometimes we're not sure how to handle them. The other thing that goes with that is that they're unexplainable. You ask a 12-year-old why they did something, and their jaw will hang open, and they truly will not know. I mean, from the soul, they do not know why they did or said that thing. I was in 6th grade at Maplewood Elementary School, and I successfully graduated from 6th grade. Back in the day, we had 6th grade as part of elementary school, and then junior high school was 79, and then high school was 10 to 12. So I just finished 6th grade at Maplewood Elementary. I was pretty proud of that graduation from elementary. And I was moving on to the big junior high, and over the course of the summer, not long after I graduated from that school, I discovered that I had inadvertently taken one of the spelling books of the school. Now, a normal person would do something with that, probably take it back and say, hey, I found this in my stuff, here's your book back. Not me. I buried it in a drawer in my dresser in my room, where it stayed under a pile of clothes. And I would run into it periodically, and I would just move it further under the clothes or the drawer down. And I was ashamed because I had gotten stuck with this spelling book. And I had to get out of that middle phase until I looked at it one day and I said, this is stupid. What am I doing with this spelling book? And I went over to Nodland Elementary and I gave it back to them. Now they probably laughed at me. They were on to a different series by then. They had a whole different set of textbooks. But I felt better. I got their property back to them. And that's what happens with middle school students. We were all there once, right? Every one of us has kind of gone through that awkward phase. There was actually a middle school, there was a problem in the girls' restroom. And I know you normally think in middle school there would be a problem in the boys' restroom, but this was a problem in the girls' restroom. What was happening was the girls were putting bright red lipstick on and kissing the mirror. And it would be covered with these lip prints from the junior high girls. The administration tried several approaches. They warned them, they tried to control it, nothing was working. And so the principal, who was a fairly wise woman, gathered a group of girls in the restroom, who she was pretty smart about figuring out some of the girls who were connected with this issue. And she got them together in the restroom. So there's a group of about 20 girls standing in the restroom, and one man, he's the janitor of the school. And she says to the girls, now girls, we've had a problem with the kissing on the mirror, and she said, we've tried different approaches, and what you may not understand is how difficult it is to clean the glass of these mirrors. So Mr. Stevens, would you show them how difficult it is to remove the lipstick? So Mr. Stevens has a large squeegee with a white towel wrapped around it. He goes over to the stall of the bathroom, plunges it into the toilet bowl, comes back, and scrubs all the lip marks off the mirror. They did not have a problem, again, with the lip marks on the mirror. compete at that level, you got to be smart like that principal and think like a middle school student. Now, here's the next step of all this. Are you ready? Jesus was once a middle school student. Okay, they had a slightly different educational system, but you know what I'm saying. Jesus also, in his human growth, passed through that stage. And we have one snapshot in the Bible of him at that age 12. And so if you're still in Luke chapter 1, I want you to turn over to Luke 2. And we're going to look at this little snapshot of Jesus. And what I want to see tonight is, do we find a match between what we've described to be characteristic of middle school and Jesus at 12? So let's just kind of take a look here. Now, the first thing, and I'd say the first match we have, is that there's something unexplainable going on here in Jesus' life. And what happens is he goes missing. So here it is, Luke chapter 2, and we're going to pick up in verse 41. So it's kind of a longer chapter. Verse 41, and here's the account. Every year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the custom. When he held the festival according to the custom. Now, after the festival was over, while his parents were returning home, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but they were unaware of it. Thinking that he was in their company, they traveled on for a day. Then they began looking for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they went back to Jerusalem to look for him. And when they got there, they discovered him in the suburban apartment of this man here. Kind of funny, but not funny, right? And what happens when you see that picture? It's an emotional response. And suddenly you're tied into thinking about what goes through a mother or a father's head when the kid is missing. And all kinds of fears, all kinds of anxieties, urgencies that drive you to do and to search and to ask. Actually, they didn't find him here. They found him in the home of this man. Right? They got there and he was in the temple courts. The place that out of all the places on earth, the Lord, the living God said, here's where I'm going to put my name. This is where you're going to come to experience me. This will be the spot on earth where you will see my glory. You'll understand my presence. And there Jesus is in the public outer courts of the temple. And he was sitting there with the teachers of the law. And he was asking them questions and learning from them. And the Bible says that everyone who witnessed this was amazed at the questions that he was asking. And so his parents show up. Now, the first unexplainable thing, and typical middle school kind of thing, didn't tell his parents. There he is back in Jerusalem. They had to travel a whole day backtrack to get back there. They finally find him. Well, the second unexplainable thing, though, was the answer that he gave to his parents. All right, look at this. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." And Jesus replies, "Why were you searching for me? Didn't you know I had to be in my what? In my Father's house." And they did not understand what he was saying to them. Again, testimony that he was a typical teenager. He's talking, they have no clue what he's saying. I think that's the first match, this unexplainable stuff. But I think the second match applies as well, the fact that he's unclassified. What is he? Is he a child or an adult? I mean, the fact that he doesn't tell them, he's sitting there in Jerusalem, they're frantic, and he's almost oblivious to the fact. His mother says, weren't you concerned over the fact that we were just in this terrible state? And then Jesus gives this response. He said, "Didn't you know I came from my Father's house?" People around him were amazed at the fact that he was holding his own with these teachers of the law, these people that their whole lives have been spent memorizing and applying the Scriptures. Is he a child? Is he an adult? And then whose son is he? Is he the son of Joseph, or is he the son of God?